Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to take me off speakerphone?
I'll try.
Why does she need to take you off speakerphone? Is there a secret?
No, there's
I don't, since there's so much corruption, I don't want her to be off speaker.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am still checking to see if we have any shelter
Mm-hmm.
space.
Okay.
So just bear with me for a couple more
Okay, you
minutes,
asked,
okay?
you had me on hold, and then you said if we have any pets, and then, okay, now you're checking again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's your name?
Sometimes it just takes. My name is Jana.
Jenna, okay. Any particular reason why it's a secret and you wanted her to be off speaker?
Sometimes we just have to coordinate stuff just during.
Well, when people coordinate, I don't get services.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
this all
somebody
this
can.
coordinating, I get denied services through the
Yeah, well,
coordination.
we want to make sure that we're able to provide you with the best service as possible, and just making sure that we're doing the best that we can, and that's our
Oh well,
goal.
I prefer that if it's not secretive. If you want to provide me with the best services you can, I prefer it not to be secretive. Because like I said, there's a lot of corruption and people that are enlisted to keep me in my abuse and deny me services. I had to do a police report on it because it happens so often. They
Okay,
conspire to
and
not give me services and lie and say I was telling her that to keep me in jeopardy for my abuser.
I know that it can be very frustrating that shelter space is very often first come first serve,
Oh
and
no, ma'am! I had to do a conspiracy to violate civil rights report because they purposely doing it. Like when I got put out of the shelter when he was mad and I was gone. You can't do anything wrong if you're not on property. And they put my stuff out in a box and locked the gate so I couldn't get back in because he was upset at a DV place where
I'm
I was
really
going to
sorry that
escape
that's
him.
the experience that you have at another shelter.
Well, if you're
At our
trying to help me
shelter, we do
if
not
you're trying to
confirm
help
or
me with the
deny.
abuse, ma'am, if you're trying to help me with the abuse, I'm reporting to you my abuse. If that is your goal. So you need to know to help me get out of it that he's controlling shelters. So I'm reporting
I
my abuse
understand
to
that, and
you.
what I
Yeah.
want you to know is that we do not confirm or deny if someone is a client of ours, whether they're in our shelter, they've called our hotline, they're seeking shelter at one of our in our non-residential services. We do not tell anybody or share any of that information with anyone because our client's safety is the most important to us. So I understand that you maybe had a difficult
Oh no, I'm just
situation coming
reporting
from
to
that
you the
situation.
abuse. I'm reporting it to you for my case and my help assistance here that he brings the abuse to shelter so you know. I'm giving you all of my abuse so you have it on file. Yeah.
Okay, so just bear with me just 1 second. Our computers are being a little bit slow
That's
over
being a
here,
little
and I'm
bit
trying
slow.
really hard to get it to work. So I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. So I don't know who we were calling. We called the victim's advocate. And the two victims advocate hung up in my face and wouldn't give me the services for victims compensation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the shelter, Austin Street, wouldn't give me my mail. Because at multiple different locations, we call people that are like covering for my experience.
Mm.
So I don't know how it's getting done. You know, she's had us on hold a great while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I was a sadistic stalker and had a lot of power to abuse and did things that I can try to get away with, I wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't that to taunt someone and make them wait for it to be full? If you could do that.
If I could do
Yeah,
it.
and if you were an abuser, you have to be an abuser to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have them wait on the edge of their seat, trying to escape the abuse and not get killed. Yeah, with all this corruption, and then after they go through the long spill, we're full. Have them wait, taunt them, come back, do have pets. So, and I'm not quite sure how long we've been holding, but it happens quite frequently. While she's waiting, So what all are we going to accomplish today? So if
If they don't get you to shelter,
does that mean I can't get in the shelter period and nowhere on the planet? Or how would we get? Isn't she her responsibility to get me in a safe environment if a woman's life is in jeopardy?
if you're in, if you won't get into that shelter, we can call another shelter to see if you can get into another DV shelter.
Aren't I supposed to get placed in a safe environment if I'm requesting that? Yeah, aren't we supposed to keep doing it until I get a safe environment?
Well, if it's available, I can't force anybody to get you into a shelter.
Okay, because they haven't been getting me in a shelter for years. So if isn't that the job for social worker?
Our job is to link you to the resources available. We can't force anyone to give you.
Why would they not want to? What agenda do they have?
I don't know why.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to force anyone to do anything if people aren't doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't force them, that means that that's a red flag that people are doing things wrong that they shouldn't be. I should have rights that would be a conspiracy to violate civil rights crime if people are scheming, so I don't have my civil rights of getting protected from this man.
So we'll call Genesis to see if you can get in there. If you can't get in.
Genesis?
Yes.
Huh. Because we keep getting the same shelters. I don't know. I think these are some of the bigger ones, but the same pattern of shelters that have been busy for years or full for years. I keep calling the same names keep coming up. I mean, I'm not saying that someone set that up, but I mean these same shelters have been busy, full for years rather. So for a woman in my situation, it's impossible to get out of the abuse because they keep saying that they're full, and then they want you to go over the whole spiel before they tell you if they have room or not, and then ask you for pits, and then put you on hold again. And then you get put out when a car speeds up like it's going to hit you and you're in terror. And then that no one's saying anything about that incident and how amazing that is for someone to have the thought, why would you put a woman out for a car speeding up like it's going to hit her on the camera footage right there in front of the building? Mm-hmm. And then ignore it and then punish her and put her out for trying to report it. Mm-hmm. No one's really saying anything about that.
No one. So if we don't get you into Genesis, I'm going to look to see if there's other shelters. It is when I'm going to take a break because I have to use the restroom.
Okay, I do too.
Let you know that.
How long have we been on hold? How long have we been talking to her?
We've been talking to her 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I speaking with?
Ashley.
Ashley, okay. Is the client still in there?
Yes, she is.
Good. Okay, so I'm still looking. I'm trying to see, since I'm not, physically in a shelter, kind of what's going on with, if there's anything that we can do, because unfortunately it looks like we do not have space available. Did you say you were at the South Dallas or Central Dallas?
Central Dallas.
Okay. Do you know how much longer the client's going to be, for your meeting?
Well, our meeting is supposed to end at 1:30, but I'm going to try to see if I can. I have another client so I'm going to have to come. I don't know. I have another appointment at 2 o'clock, so I'm going to try to still work with her until 2.
Well, I need the feds, or I mean, because this has been going on a long time, so I need someone to investigate and see why these places keep lying and keeping me in jeopardy, and why this business would put me out when the car sped up like it was going to hit me, and then why I called victims advocates on their phone and they were hanging up in our face and was rude on the phone here with whoever I was with, because these are criminal offenses that are happening here, even if you hide behind a business and do it. You don't have me call counterfeits, giving my personal information, and then have them hang up in my face.
Well, the thing of it is, Ms. Clark, even if I call more shelters, they're gonna ask them.
Well, what I'm saying is that for my situation, I'm probably going to need the CIA or FBI to figure out why these businesses are committing crimes to keep me in jeopardy.
I think
because you're still overlooking the fact that I've already had an experience with two victims advocate that we called on the phone here, hanging up for victims compensation, giving my personal information, and rude. They said that I didn't have all the information in the system, and I said, what do you need? And then both of them hung up. We called the first time, that one hung up, we called the second time. Then the car sped up like it was going to hit me. You're not giving the staff responsibility in the chaos that they put me through. Why would they put me out when a car sped up like it was going to hit me on their property and not follow the protocol if my abuser's not controlling this establishment? And if he is controlling the establishment, what is the responsibility if you want to be in conspiracy with the abuser?
Yeah. Let's talk what I can give you the FedEx number, and maybe that's something that you want to do on your own, is to make that call.
Well, I mean, if you're supposed to be helping the women escape the abuse.
But if you're thinking I'm corrupt myself or this agency corrupt, I think that's going to be something that you should do on your to call them that.
Well, if I'm not getting services, I mean, what? I'm just expressing what happened and trying to get resolutions, and I'm not. No one has an answer, and they disregard my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go to people that I'm supposed to be trying to get protected from, and then protection from my abuser, and they're covering for him. Mm-hmm. Multiple locations. I want it to end. I want to have rights like all the other women that are fleeing abusive situations. That abuser doesn't have a lot of money. But because he gets a lot of money, he gets a free pass to do whatever and anything that he wants to do.
Well, I'm not sure how we can help you, because if you're thinking we are behind it, I don't know what I can.
Are you working on my case on the computer system?
I'm working on your case, and I'm responding to a couple of emails.
Oh, you're responding to the emails.
Oh, I'm working on your
Well, is there not a resolution of a possibility?
Right now she's telling us that she doesn't have shelter. So I'm gonna, if you want me to call.
I just want to make sure that people aren't playing games, and then the other experiences that I had, why did those happen?
Playing games with you.
I'm the other experience where the car sped up like it was going to hit me.
Well, I cannot go back to that experience because I don't know who that was.
But I'm just saying, don't you think that's a bit suspicious?
It does sound suspicious that's what you're saying. So, but we can only focus on what's happened today. So we can call other shelters, but you're going to need, I don't know what we can do.
I'm sorry?
But what I'm happy to help with is try to see if there are some other shelters that we know that may be an option for space.
Because what people do routinely is they just waste my time, and then they're all full 3 or 4 hours. That's why I want to know, or 1 or 2 hours, and then they always have appointments. So after they make sure I don't get anything resolved, they have an appointment. That way, but that's a pattern of my experience of the abuse.
Well, your point was, you came early, so your point was.
Ma'am, I'm just telling you about my abuse, and this is, I just can only tell you about it.
Well, I'm only telling you what's happening.
Right, I know, but I just want you to know about my abuse, the pattern, and why I don't get services.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about our appointment right now. I'm going to focus on
well, yeah, right.
So your point was at.
Yeah, I already know. You don't have to tell me. I want to use the time wisely. You don't have to tell me. I already know. But I'm just saying that I don't get things resolved because the appointments, the places are full, and we have to go through this long spiel.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the long spiel, they realize they're full. Look at how long she had us on hold. This is a pattern. This is why I don't get things resolved, and I've been staying homeless and stuck in the abuse for so long. I can only tell you what the pattern is, and this is a pattern. I call multiple places.
Mm-hmm.
They all need to hear the same spiel, long drawn out spiel. Do you have pets? All this different thing. Come back, go leave again, come back, and then they're full.
Mm-hmm.
For years.
I know that it can be frustrating frustrating.
Yeah, that's a new thing they're saying now. It is frustrating.
Lots of shelters are going to be first come, first serve, and we can't control. Nobody knows when they're going to like have space available.
Well, maybe
Let
that.
me see if I can like check in with some other shelters. I'm gonna put you on a brief hold. I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can find some other shelters, and I'll get back on the phone with you. Okay.
Okay.
So if we do call the shelters, they're gonna ask the same questions. They're gonna do an intake with you still.
I mean, I don't know how long games are going to be played, and I'm not going to be remain homeless and in danger. How many more years of this?
Yeah.
For what people, it's a bottomless pit on how to get off the streets. You have to see it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to figure out is how long is this charade going to go on? I don't believe that it's a bottomless pit and a woman trying to flee abuse can no longer do it. I believe I can no longer do it because my abuser is controlling all these businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a bottomless pit for years. Me escaping the abuse ever since I went the first time in April. Then went there and then got arrested. Then he's been controlling all of the other ones that I get into. If I can get into them. So, but that's part of the abuse that I cannot escape from.
So what has been your experience at the Salvation Army?
I just, multiple businesses, I had to do a conspiracy to violate civil rights report police report, because multiple businesses violate my civil rights and lied out services and schemes so I don't get them.
Mm-hmm. So at the Salvation Army.
But right here, we're here, and I'm trying to get services here, and I don't want this place to be like Salvation Army, so I want to concentrate on the services you offer here while I have your time, because you have another appointment. So what are we going to get resolved today?
So do you want me to, after we finish with her, do you want me to call another shelter, or what do you want?
What about the legal, the other lady that you said that you had? I mean, what are we going to get? What is for case management?
So
what are we going to get?
Order.
What are we going to get resolved,
So
and then the
for
police?
protective order for to get a police to do a protective order, they're gonna have to have a physical incident that happens, because sometimes it's hard to get.
What are we going to do here? I already told you. We've already went over that I told you I had multiple police reports.
Okay.
So what are you going to do here?
So I'm going to finish I'm going to put all the information that you have told me. Then I'm going to link you into the advocate who can help you with protective orders.
Okay, and you're going to link me with the advocate.
Yes,
So that's a separate appointment?
I'm going to see if she's available right now, and so she can talk to her.
Okay. And then what else? I mean, is that it? Link me with that person? Is that
Okay,
that's,
and then do you want us to go over a protective a safety plan?
Okay, maybe we can do that, but what the custody agreement?
For a custody agreement, I can give you legal aid number.
So legal aid's number, you can't link me with them?
No, you have to do it with them. They're not gonna. It's because of confidentiality. You have to call them.
Oh, I have to call them what is the name of it? Is it
It's a person who's linked. She works here. Her office is here, but she works for North Texas Legal Aid.
Okay.
Okay.
Because they're bodyguarding them those legal advocates now.
So what?
A lot of locations are bodyguarding those legal advocates. Make sure I don't even attorneys that I try to hire.
Mm.
I call multiple attorneys on my phone and they will not represent me, but I'm calling on my phone. So can you call the number? Because I'm not calling the real people. Maybe when you have time.
You want me to call Elisa for you, the legal assistant?
Uh huh.
Okay.
Because I don't think none of them are. This is a pattern. None of them have space because I got to be in jeopardy. When your abuser's controlling it, that's how it goes. They're full.
Right now, I'm about to email the advocate that you sent to see if she's available right now.
So you don't advocates, and when people come in there in imminent danger or life is in jeopardy and they're full, you don't continually find a place until they find or have a safe environment.
That's what we were talking about. I said we can call different other shelters, but I was letting you know.
I'm asking the procedure once again. If a woman, it says that she's in danger, do you keep trying until you find her a safe environment?
I try to find. I keep.
Or do you have a multitude of women that cannot escape their abuse and stay in jeopardy because you can't find her a safe environment? Huh?
No, ma'am, I don't.
So there you had women here that cannot escape their.
No, I have not.
Okay. So each woman that came here that needed a safe environment, were you able to provide a safe environment for her?
Well, when people are, usually the protocol is that they go, before they even come to me, they already call the
I just wanted to know if there's ever a woman here that is in danger and needs a safe environment and leaves and can't get it. That's my
I can only
question.
talk about my experience, and that has not happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But with my experience, most of my clients have already called the shelter on their own before they came to me.
Well, it just has been happening years for me, so I thought it was odd too that I experience it so routinely. So what location is she? I mean, she's a, what did we just call to get Jana? Jenna?
We call the hotline.
Okay, and that's Jana?
Jenna.
Okay, from the hotline.
Yes.
What time do you have?
124.
Okay. So how often do you meet with people for case management?
It varies. It's not, most of my job is about doing the intakes for counseling services, and my case management, clients are bi-weekly, every other week.
Okay.
Or it's as needed whenever they're,
Well, until I escape the abuse, if I have civil rights, I would like to get case management from a DV organization that can help with DV. And what kind of programs do you have for women that are, if you're full, what kind of programs do you have for her to get housed? Women fleeing abuse in safe environments.
So if she's wanting to flee and the shelters are full, we talk over safety. We do a safety plan.
I asked what kind of housing do you have?
So for housing,
yeah.
is when
I asked what kind of housing do you have for a woman, programs for a woman trying to escape the abuse? What kind of, not shelter, because you're full. What kind of housing, like apartments and housing programs?
We don't have those apartments. We do have a program that if clients have their own apartment and they have an eviction or they're about to get evicted, we then do assist them paying for their rent. But for clients who do not have apartments, we do not help them get housing. So we just link them to other resources.
Okay, what are those?
They're available. So it could.
So you don't have the apartments anymore that you guys used to have?
No, ma'am.
When did those stop?
I don't know. We were paying for some. It weren't actually our apartments, but that stopped during COVID. So with our so we don't actually have an apartment anymore, but the apartments are actually just for people who were already in the shelter and they got into a transitional housing program. So they have to be in the shelter before then.
Okay.
So we still have that transition program, but they're
you
not.
Still have it. You don't have it because COVID. Then you have it.
You're talking about just either like clients off the street going to apartments. We never had, but they were into some. So it was like really difficult to explain. So let's say you were in shelter, you want to get to our transition program.
I just want, ma'am, what I really sincerely want is to talk to people that are sincere. And I could not have expressed how long I have been going through this and how many people were conning me. And I'm not saying that you are indefinitely, but words cannot express to anyone my experiences. You have to actually see it to believe it and hear it to believe it. How many people lie to me and keep me in jeopardy routinely about services, disregard what I'm saying, answer questions that I didn't ask, all of that to keep my abuser safe and endanger me. Like, you need to protect. I mean, can we really take into context how dangerous it is for all these people to protect someone that's psycho, and let him facilitate all his needs and all his crazy requests that he has, just for profit? So now, since he's controlling all these environments and all these people are conning me, it's a bottomless pit to be safe and escape abuse now, even with the police department. It never it hasn't been happening for years. So I cannot verbalize to people my experiences without they actually looking insane because no one would ever believe it. The level of abuse and control I'm subjected to. So now everywhere I go, there's the housing is controlled because it needs to be able to control my environment and where I stay. And buy off the neighborhoods to bully me, mistreat me, and do all the crazy things that people would not even believe that I go through.
So have you thought about maybe instead of we can start working on employment so we can start getting into our own stable housing?
Well, so I just get killed? So how am I going to get protection from the man? Working on employment? If I'm blacklisted from getting services at a shelter and at restaurants, at Walmart, you think I can get a job?
Even if it's...
But here's the thing, I came here because this is a domestic violence place and the solution is for me to get a job instead of get help, get out of the abuse. I just said a lot of amazing things, and the first thing that comes to your mind is maybe a job. While services
are the first thing that came to me.
Well, let's think about things that are going to protect me against the guy that I just said was psycho.
When I keep on asking you about a safety plan, you keep going on about other different things, and so I'm not for sure if that's what you want to talk about.
We're going all over the planet like we do with multiple organizations, to that way I don't get any service. So each area that we're in is directed towards another conversation, so nothing's ever completed. So I leave with not having pretty much nothing accomplished. Mm-hmm. So when I'm in one direction, then they set up another direction. Then we go to that direction and try to get something completed in that direction. Then they take me back to another direction, all over the in a circle. So then when I leave, there's nothing done. What I stated initially is that...
Ashley, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so like I said earlier, unfortunately we don't have space available in our shelter. But what I'm happy to do is see if we can get a supervisor over there with the two of you to see if we can come up with a solution and try to help you get what you're needing.
All right, that's great.
Well, I'll come back in 2 weeks because they're all full. I'm just trying to get enough evidence, maybe you can find one that's not full and give me a call back. Because for years, everyone's been full. Because I don't have civil rights. And the way to violate someone's civil rights and cover for it is we're full. I tried. The car sped up, get off property. So, yeah, I know, but we're just wasting time, ma'am, like I do at every other location and not get services. So let me get back to her about the housing programs, if I can ever get those in for education on that, and see what other clever ways people come up with to deny me services.
Well, Jen, I do think it's good if you brought a supervisor, maybe they can explain the services a little bit more.
I'm not do I have civil rights?
You do have civil rights.
Okay, I didn't want to speak with the supervisor. Not this time.
Well, it seems like we've been going back and forth, so that's why I want someone else to speak.
I would prefer if I had civil rights here.
Well, I have civil rights too, so Jen, I'm asking for a supervisor to come through.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll get someone over there, okay?
I don't have time for all that. I wasn't going to be here that long. So, are you denying services now?
My office number is 37. My phone number or I don't.
No, your office number.
I don't even know, but I know it's across from the CDC. Well, across from the kids' offices. The child care.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get someone. Okay.
Thank you.
So is the supervisor going to deny me services? I mean, what is
I don't know what the supervisor going to do, but they're going to maybe explain a little bit more services, and maybe they can help you in another way.
Is there a particular reason why you're refusing to do it?
I'm not refusing. I've been trying to explain to you.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. What we were stating before. Mm-hmm. You've been trying to explain to me, what have we accomplished?
Nothing. So maybe a supervisor can come in.
Okay. Why are you violating my civil rights and not doing it? I didn't ask to wait on the supervisor. I'm already spoken. How long have we been in here talking?
We've been over here an hour.
And what have we got accomplished?
Nothing. And I'm trying
to... So let's just...
So if I can't accomplish anything...
I think what people do is when it comes down to giving me services, they call supervisors. So the supervisors can deny me services. Because they're scheming, so I don't have my civil rights. And when they get backed in the corner to have to give me services, which I should be eligible... which I'm supposed to get, they call security, they call the police, and they call supervisors. But for people that are compassionate, what kind of living nightmare would a woman go through to routinely experience this? From place to place, from police to police, they need to call supervisors to deny me services. Because I'm not getting them. Because he has a bigger pocketbook than I do. So while we're waiting on the supervisor, because I didn't request to speak with one if I had civil rights, I just want services and I want people to stop playing games and violating my civil rights, which I should have a right to get the services. I've been here all this time.
So what do you want me to explain to you?
Okay, so I mean, people have to get supervisors and security when we talk about housing all the time. So the programs that you said that you offered, and then you thought of a supervisor because I asked for about housing. So for the women fleeing abuse, there do you have connections for apartments and some protection in the safe environments in what if she's fleeing for her life?
We don't, our program, we don't have like a physical connection, like, but we can like link you to different apartments. So I know some of the case managers who work with some of the apartments, they might know someone at that apartment, but it's not going to be like it's going to be 100% sure. They're not going to be like we're watching over the apartment complex.
Yes, I get
like
it,
that.
but I mean just linked with the apartment complex.
Yes, so we do have some case managers who have different properties that they have worked with that can help them with those apartments. But the thing of it is going to be that where you're going to be paying for that apartment out of your money and lease. So sometimes we do when the client has been in shelter. After they have completed their shelter, they do get into a.
So if they're not in a shelter, they don't get services to get housed.
They don't get rental assistance.
Okay, because there's a lot of catch-22s. Because I'm not getting services, and you have to make a catch-22 for me not to get services. So, what do I qualify for? If I don't, so are you saying that I don't qualify for any housing? Period.
What you qualify is for me to help you look for different apartments, but we're not going to be. We can't financially pay for them.
Okay, so there's no financial housing or any Section 8 or anything that you set me up for, or any income-based apartments that you have links to. Period.
I can link you to income-based apartments. I can do that. But with Section 8, that's through another agency, so they will, if they're.
I'm asking if you can link me up and set, because my life is normal. What do you help?
I cannot link you up to Section 8.
Link.
No, I cannot link you to Section 8, but I can link you. I can give you a list of affordable housing. Yeah, come in. Come in. Come in. Hi.
You have somebody looking for you
Okay.
at the front.
All right. Thank you. All right. So.
Is that the supervisor at the front?
Uh-huh.
Is that the supervisor at the front?
I have no clue.
It gets pretty weird when I'm wanting services. I used to go to jail for wanting them. Let's go see who's at the front.
Okay.
At least the arrest stopped and the police department showing up to make sure I didn't get them. Oh, I guess it's the supervisor. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, can you find out, I have to keep repeating myself multiple times on each conversation, or can I have, I don't know. I mean, because I've been looking for shelter a long time and don't get it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when you call shelters, they are going to always ask you kind of what's going on. We can't control that. Every shelter.
Well, you write it down and then say I'm a social worker. We just need to know if they're full or not, and then I call me and then I get in because it's been going on years and they've been full for years. So what I'm requesting, if you could call the shelter and see if they have an opening and let them know what's going on, then they can talk to me. That way I don't waste my time like I've been doing for years.
Okay. Are you planning on staying here, or are you on your way out?
I'm because it's been going on years. People have been playing games, and I have a time limit to be back at where I'm at. So I can come back another time.
What we can do is do we have a safe phone number for you to
Yes.
call? Okay. So we can kind of see if there's any options, and then if there are any.
Do you have women that can't get housed, period, and they're fleeing for a domestic violence abuse situation?
Our goal is to always make sure that everyone is safe.
Okay. My question is, do you have women that can't get housed, period, and they're trying?
I mean, sometimes it may take a little bit longer than other times, just depending on.
Okay, so sometimes
other
it may.
shelters or options.
So basically, you do get her housed. eventually.
That is our goal. Is
Okay.
yes. Is
So,
to
but
help
you don't have
someone.
women that leave without no housing or shelter, period, in a DV situation.
Like when we're on the phone with them, or when they're at one of our
Like when they're
clients?
requesting, they come here and they say my life is in jeopardy, I need shelter, and you are aware of it. Do you have people that can't get housed, period, and stay in jeopardy?
So typically, what we do in those situations is we will do what I'm offering to do for you, is to see if there's another shelter
So you
that's
don't
available.
have right. So you can normally place
and
them.
what happens from there is we don't know. If we give someone numbers to shelters and say, hey, it looks like these would be great
Oh
options
no, I'm
for
saying
you.
your responsibility. Do you place the woman? Because these supervisors, Jenna, these supervisors come and basically they just make sure that my civil rights are getting violated multiple times. If it's not the police department, I told her there's a lot of corruption, and I don't know how people are coming in taking over businesses and then claim they're supervisors. Because to me, if my abuser's controlling these environments with his staff, that should be a criminal offense. We're talking about crimes.
I understand
So
that.
right, so but this is repetitive because I already had this experience at City Square. Supervisor came in, and then your supervisor, and what the supervisors are doing, they're supervising and making sure I don't have civil rights. But what I'm trying to make sure of, if someone is infiltrating these businesses and forcing these businesses to deny me services for a psycho abuser. Let's talk about the implications if they weren't hiding behind a business. Making sure that person stays in jeopardy.
Again, we spoke over the phone, and so whenever
Okay.
we will never share information with anyone.
I'm not talking
no
about
matter
sharing.
what.
I'm talking about getting into a safe environment. And if there's women that can't get into a safe environment, because I haven't been able to get into
You're
one for
saying
you.
that your abuser's infiltrating and like corrupting.
I'm
our
saying a safe
organization.
environment. Safe environment.
Mhm.
If a woman is begging for her life and pleading to get in a safe environment, have there been situations where you did not help her get in a safe environment?
Our goal is to always help someone to get where they need to be.
Okay.
So the same that I would offer for someone else is that what we can do is I'm happy to do like the legwork and call around and see what we can do, and then we can call and give you a list of names and numbers that may be a good.
Oh, I
option
can come
for
back
you.
in. I can come back in and then sit down and then do it in person because I like to handle business in person because I want people to be implicated that take bribes or whatever the condition that hijacks these businesses. It's harder to implicate people
We're
on my
not
phone.
taking
Well,
bribes to
good.
not
Then
help
that's
you.
good. So what
But
I
if
would
you- What I'm
prefer,
saying is, if you need to leave right now, I
what
can do that
I'm
right
telling
now.
you what I prefer.
Okay.
I would prefer if I can come back in 2 weeks, and then we can get the businesses and the organizations or whatever the shelters that have availability. You can call me with them, or I can meet you in person. Because if they're all full for years, then someone's controlling them, and I try and expose my abuser getting involved and me escaping my abuse and preventing me from doing so. So if nothing fishy or suspicious is going on, I would like to be able to, for you to find a place that's open, because I haven't been able to find any. They're all full. And then in addition to that, I would like for to be able to meet and to the places that are open. That way I have a support system if I had rights.
So what we can do, like I said, I'll call around and see what we have available. If it's okay to call and tell you those places, then that's what I'll
Yeah,
do.
and then if
That's
there
what I'll
are,
do.
can we set up a time to meet tomorrow if there's an opening? So we can
For
call and
another
say,
one of the shelters. So the problem with that is, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Shelter space comes and goes throughout the day. So like, a shelter may have space available right now. and it
oh
will go
ma'am,
away
let's
and run
not,
over.
I don't know why the supervisors come in and they're so negative. If you tell them if there's availability, then just telling them that I'm coming the next day because I want a support system when I go because my life ain't normal. So I like to be here, get set up transportation or whatever the services and the support system that you guys offer. I'd like for that experience.
Okay.
So that's why I'm requesting, because my life ain't normal. Abusers shouldn't be able to hijack businesses out of corruption and have send bullies over to not violate civil rights. And I'm not saying that's what's going on, but that's what I've experienced in the past. So yeah, so if you find a place that has availability, I'd like for you to call me and let me know. You guys have my number, and then we can set up for those for me to get a support system to get to those businesses.
Okay, we can do that.
Because my life ain't normal.
Okay.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay, thank you. So, are we gonna set up an appointment in 2 weeks to meet, and then, because we really didn't get a lot accomplished today.
Set up one for 2 weeks to finish.
Okay, and then you said you talked to the lady about the custody agreement. Oh, and I have something that, I think they said that you could fax this for FOP. Yeah, out of the corruption, my custody agreement is getting violated. and you have a FLP services, and I wanted that faxed over. They told me to bring it over the phone because they won't call me back. I've left a message.
No, for FLP, it has to go through the court, so the court has to fax it.
They told me to bring it, and you fax it and link it over to that family place representative.
Okay. I'm just gonna email it them the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm just gonna table this ring.
Okay. Because I faxed it and then tried to get confirmation they received it, and it's like
They didn't say they got it.
yeah, I'm not getting my calls, so I don't know what's going
I'll
on.
just email it to her.
Because what it feels like is that they're trying to keep help aid and me not having access to my child.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they're not returning my calls, and this isn't the first time it's happened, but I don't know if I'm getting the calls. So who are you emailing it to?
That's what I'm about to research. Agencies. I need to figure out who the manager over there is. I can see.
It's supposed to be Faith Liberties.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of her name. That's all. The manager of that part. History. Yeah. The assistant program. Hey. You can shut the door for me.
Was it the hard?
Okay. that my door? No, okay.
Looks like the maintenance guy. Are you maintenance? Oh, no. I'm sorry. Is that another door?
Okay.
The one that told you that someone was up there at the front for you?
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Let me see the top of the form. That's the first page. That knows one is the first page. Come in. Come in.
Hey, I just wanted to check in and see.
Yeah, we're just now just doing a couple of things we're about to be done.
Okay, cool. Well, I can go ahead and. No, never mind. We'll call you with like what available shelter spaces are open, okay?
Okay. You're not working on it now?
I can do it right now. I just wasn't sure if you were.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you came over there and you were doing it. Oh, I guess you were doing something else?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're doing something else.
I'll be right back.
Give me your phone number, okay?
It's 469.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh.
Your phone number. Emailed her, the supervisor, for your paperwork, and so she should be contacting you for the stuff. So at least we know they got it. Alright, contact.
I'm sorry?
I said at least we know they got it.
Okay. And then you'll keep, if it's not the right person, and they'll forward you over to the
I know
right
that's the
person.
right person. That's she was assistant program director over there.
Okay.
My system.
Okay. Well, so with the person that handles the custody agreements and
So if you say you're gonna come back in 2 weeks, I can have after our.
oh well, I mean I can speak with her sooner. That's you. I want to get things resolved. I mean, meeting with you, but as soon as possible with her.
Okay, I did not email her because we've been doing a lot of different.
You didn't
things.
email her?
No,
Oh.
I did not because we've been going back and forth for other stuff.
Okay.
So let me look and see. Let me just go to Vicky's office real quick.
Okay.
Vicky's in session right now.
Oh, she's in session. Yeah.
So what I was thinking is if we either, I tell her to call you, she's gonna call you because she calls people really back really good. So she probably will call you after the session. And look at her schedule. It's like I can give you kind of one about. Should I call you?
But it's kind of complicated because my calls are controlled. Yeah, so the good ones that help me get out of abuse, I may not get, and then he has counterfeits called, denying me services. But I mean, I would know if she's denying. She provides those services, so there's no reason why she wouldn't want to see me, right? If she's not covering for him. Okay, that's no problem. If she's really legitimately has a sincere interest in me getting the services that they offer,
Yeah.
and not withholding them.
So I would just suggest, I don't even have to schedule, but
is there for case management? Is it a possibility that you can look inside yourself in your position and place me and advocate for me and give me the services that can benefit me? Is it possible for our case management?
Not for when you're wanting protective order. I just will suggest.
I'm just saying. I'm asking a question. Is it possible? Because what I'm looking for is an advocate, and for someone to advocate me and walk me through what I would need to do to end this abuse, because it's unusual, and I can't get it.
When it comes to legal,
I want to get the question answered directly.
Okay.
So what I'm asking, if you're for my advocate or case manager, is it possible? Because this is what I'm requesting. For my advocate to look within themselves and their expertise and experience and set me up and link me and give me the direction I need to escape my abuse. Would that be possible?
No, because I'm going to answer why you're
Okay, hold on. So, for me to request that an advocate for me.
Yes, you can do that. And that's why I'm giving you Vicky. So Vicky does the advocate.
No. For the services that you offer.
I can do that.
Okay. For the services that you offer and the services that we talked about, is it possible for you to link me up? Like if you know I want to talk to Vicky, say Vicky, my client wants to talk to you, like even with the number. Other services and things that I need to escape the abuse, is it possible for you to educate me and inform me and give me a game plan and a guideline on what I need to escape my abuse? Is that a possibility?
Yes, it is.
Because that's what I'm seeking. I'm seeking someone who's going to say, okay, it looks like with what you're saying, you're going to need a protection order. I'll set up for so-and-so to go with you, do the protection order, so-and-so, so-and-so. It looks like that you need to talk to this organization because he's a prominent man. It looks like that you're not going to need to talk to this person because police aren't enforcing the law and they're covering for his crimes. So this person is going to make sure that they're following the police reports. Following through with the police report and investigating. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. So Vicky is the one who's going to be, she's a protective order person, and then she can also be the person who's when you're trying to get into court and linking you to the police officers. So, but Vicky is in the session because she had her dot on her door, and so, but I cannot, I don't have her calendar to see when she's next available. So, I can call her right now to see if when is her appointment ending, but she might not answer the phone because she's in the session right now. But I was suggesting that if we schedule an appointment with me and you after my appointment.
Yeah, maybe a week because we really didn't get a lot accomplished instead of 2 weeks.
Okay. So we're going to schedule an appointment next week. You want to schedule for next Wednesday or you schedule for Monday so it can be early on in the week then?
Thursday.
You want to do Thursday? Okay, so I have availability. Let's do it. Thursday. What time? Is you available another day?
What about Tuesday?
Oh, okay, cool. Tuesday, would you want morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Okay. So I have a meeting from 12:30 to 2. So do you want the 3 o'clock, the 2:30 spot?
3 o'clock would be great.
3 o'clock is great. Okay. Actually, don't have. I have a 2:30 to 3:30. And the next one is 3:30, 4:30. We have to end it exactly at 4:30.
I'm sorry?
I said I have a 2:30 spot and then I have a 3:30 spot.
Okay. So because my situation is highly unusual and it's strategically planned normally to where I have limited area to get nothing accomplished. Because it's a pattern.
You don't want the 2:30 spot?
Well, I'm trying to express my experience. So, for my experience, there's a pattern of me setting up appointments, and they have another appointment forcing me to leave and not get services that I can for.
That's why we do at 2:30, so I won't schedule anybody for 2:30, and we have a 2-hour session if we need to.
At 2:30. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it that day, I guess.
That's why I said, if you do it 3:30, I will have to end quick, but if I do 2:30, I can keep it extended, and I'll make sure
Okay.
it's 2 hours. But what I wanna do is after that session, I wanna link you on this one until, I'm gonna schedule an appointment with Vicky, and so we just walk straight to her office, to that
Okay.
person, okay?
So in 2 weeks, there's not anyone, 1 week. There's not anyone possible that could be trying, well, she said she was gonna help me try to get a place, but there's not anyone that does for a living, that place people in safe environment, you don't have
That's
that
what
here.
she does.
Jana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But she wasn't very confident that she could accomplish it.
Well, I guess she only has so much resources.
Well, I don't get a lot of resources, so that's why I'm trying to make sure that people are on the up and up and not playing games with me, trying to make sure I don't get help in working for my abuser. Because I thought it was pretty odd that a woman routinely says, please help me escape this abuse, and can't get it from multiple different locations. I thought that they would keep trying until they placed her in a safe environment and just say, we're full, and leave her in it.
All right, I have you scheduled for next Tuesday the 27th at 2:30, and you'll see Vicky after you finish with me.
Okay. Okay, and then Jana's looking now to see if there's some openings anywhere else. Who is he right here?
He's the operations.
Operations, okay. It's like people are guard my services because, with my abuse, so it's like bullies come on the property and they guard the services to make sure I don't get them. Like hijacking the business and make them become abusers. Okay, well, thank you.
I was only able to talk to 2 that said they potentially have space but would need to speak with you.
Just Jana. I speak to supervisors. Do I have rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't finish speaking. So the whole thing was for you to not potentially have space because people play games with me because I don't have civil rights. My abuser hijacks businesses designed to keep women from abusers and help them escape them. But in my situation, he controls them. So he sends abusers to